House passing the bill to raise the debt ceiling by a wide margin of 314 to 117 last night. Next stop, the Senate. For more on what to expect, let's welcome Mick Mulvaney, former White House Chief of Staff and former Director of the Office of Management and Budget. He's now co-chair at Actum. And former Democratic U.S. Congresswoman Jane Harman. She is now a member of the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget. And you were on recently. I enjoyed your last appearance with us as well, Congresswoman. It's good to have you on. Good to have you in studio. Mick, I don't want to be half empty about this.
Yes, you do.
No, I do not. Even though I want to be happy. I do, and I am happy that this happened. We have a debt problem. I understand that, and this doesn't solve it. But you're talking about a guy who had what, a 4-member margin in the House. Didn't control the White House and didn't control the Senate, getting making some progress that wasn't a given from the start. Why isn't that? Why shouldn't we be happy?
I wrote a piece in the Hill, and it was calling it a minor miracle. He had no leverage at all.
3 hands tied behind his back.
Unbelievable. And he got a much better deal than Trump got. I mean, keep in mind, when Trump was president in 2017, we had the White House, we had the House, we had the Senate, and the debt ceiling bill that he negotiated took spending up. So it took the deficits up, and McCarthy had nothing and got something out of this. Did he get everything the Republicans want? No, but that was never going to happen. Keep in mind, and folks, who don't follow Washington don't recognize this. This bill has to have 60 votes in the Senate. Period. End of story. Which, by definition, means it's going to be bipartisan. Period. End of story. That means it's going to be a bipartisan bill in the House. You're going to lose the far right. You're going to lose the far left, which is exactly what happened.
Right. And Congresswoman, we've said it for years. If the extremes of both parties are both mad, you're probably on to something. Is that wrong?
No, it's right. I think it is a minor miracle. I totally agree with Mick. I've seen the history here. I made the hard vote in 1994 for the Clinton budget, which was cutting taxes, raising taxes and cutting spending. Most people like me, first-termers who made that vote, lost re-election. I barely won. Newt Gingrich came to power. And then guess what? In 1997, Mick will applaud, we balanced the budget. And we balanced the budget until 9/11. That's almost 4 years. And then we went back in the ditch, where we still are. We made some progress in 2011, or the economy would have cratered. But to hold the debt ceiling hostage to a good budget deal was so reckless. And hopefully we'll get out of this someday. And Mick would applaud this too, we'll do a better job of reducing the debt and reducing the deficit. Why can't we do this? We punted on Bowles-Simpson. I had left Congress, but that was the idea of cutting spending, reforming entitlements. That's got to be on the table someday. Both the Social Security and Medicare trust funds are going to go bankrupt in 2030. So reforms are necessary, not repeal. Reform.
Former Vice President Pence says this. What I notice is the only people who talk about reforming entitlements aren't in office anymore.
And the folks who talk about it when they're out of office didn't talk about it when they were in office.
Well,
I did.
Jane says she did.
I know, but that was, yes, I'm thinking of other more recent Republicans.
Congressman, one thing I don't understand is some of the the Democrats didn't hesitate. They carried us through the finish line on this more than the Republicans really did. But there was some grousing, and there's still some grousing from the far left. Does the far left, and I understand they want to help everyone, and income inequality is something that they talk about. But if you have a federal deficit so large that all you're doing is paying off interest, you don't have any money to spend on any of the things that they want to do to make the world a better place. Do they ever connect the dots to that, Congresswoman?
Well, I think there's an unholy alliance between the far right, which wants everything it wants, and the far left, which wants everything it wants. And in the middle are some sensible policies. And we're getting there. We haven't done everything right. Guess what? Joe Manchin got his permitting through this mess that we've just been in. And that is for modern pipelines, which will over time carry clean fuel. And so maybe even if the far left hates this idea, maybe we can transition to clean fuel more easily because of this initiative.
So, Mick, I was also complaining to you out there about the I won't call them I'm not going to call them the blowhard right extreme, because I'm not going to do that. They're all, 79 of them. Nay, those brave souls that voted nay, that made absolutely no difference, but they can go back to their constituents and say, you know how the Democrats already passed all this stuff because they had majorities. That's why they did. Why don't elect more Republicans? You didn't stop it. You can't end it immediately. What do they really want? Did they want a default?
Keep in mind when we had.
Did they want a default?
When we had it? No, they wanted to.
Would any of them, if their vote mattered, have been a no if it meant default? No.
There are of the 49 that voted against it. My guess is a third of them really cared and understood the numbers. I have a great deal of respect for Chip Roy, how he handled himself, laid everything out on graphs.
People say that, but he was part of the problem.
No, it's the folks who didn't understand what the deal was and still voted no. Okay, there's a bunch of folks in there who have no idea what they're doing, but they just know they have to be more conservative than everybody else. That's a real thing. I used to have members walk up to me and say, "Are you voting no?" I'm like, "Yeah," and I'd say, "Why?" And I'm like, "You voting no?" And I said, "Yeah," and I'd say, "Why?" And they said, "Well, because if you're voting no, I have to vote no."
Because it gets primaried too. It's this 2-year system we have.
And then there's a bunch of them, probably more than half, who voted no last night. Would have voted yes, but it's safe for them to vote no because now they can.
Profiles encouraged.
That's exactly right. By the way, Democrats did the same thing. There was a Democrat on TV who said that she would, it was Schakowsky, who said that she was voting no, but if they needed her to vote yes to prevent default, she would. And I'm like, there's a profile encouraged.